Almost there. One more setting. And one more piece of the unique is operational.
One down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted. A whole day at the junk pile, and all I turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time. Boss, are you sure you got those settings right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go. We need to get to engineering.
Boss?
Crispin, get behind me. Who are you and what do you want?
Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
Boss? Boss? Horatio? Come on, Horatio, wake up!
Ugh.
Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Well, Big Ugly threw you out of the ship, and then he said plunder, again, and then he left with our power core.
Basad.
Yep,
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine. We just need to get the emergency generator up and running.
Or we could just go to Metropole, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropole is trouble. But if you want to go, you've got free will in a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Man built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on.
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind. I must have dropped the data pouch when I was thrown out of the unique. Basad, its memory got wiped. Easy enough to add the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though. I can't pick that up.
Now, I'm not a fancy engineer like you, boss, but it seems like the unique isn't gonna fly without its tail on.
I can't move this without some kind of crane, which I certainly don't have time to build now. It's one of the unique's turbines.
The big engine that couldn't. Is that a gumball machine?
No, it's a robot's head.
Ah, I wanted a gumball. I wanted a gumball.
A broken robot I dragged out of the junk pile. I salvaged the sarcasm coprocessor from it for Crispin.
Yeah, it works great.
It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit. Some very sticky grease. Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working. At least the putty is still good. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
How would that even work? I'll need at least 5 pieces to be able to build a conduit long enough to run the generator to the unique. A sturdy cable. I can't see anything to do with it. It's just scrap. Better just to leave it alone. It's locked tight. Better just to leave it alone. It's locked tight. It's just scrap. It's 3 pieces of Gordium conduit. Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless. There's a piece of Gordium conduit way back there.
Hey, boss, what about trying to open that lockbox I found earlier today? Maybe someone buried treasure in it.
Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose. That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
There's nothing more of value in there. I picked it clean years ago. I'll need at least 5. It's a data cable, not a power cable. How would that even work? I've tried patching this a dozen different ways without success. As much as I'd love to fix that leak someday, we have more important things to do. Plus, it would be a waste of the putty. There's no way I can reach that. Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly. That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges?
Well, that too. There's no way I can reach that.
That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
The hatch is unresponsive. More Gordium conduit. It won't work until they're locked together. Not a bad idea, but it can't carry enough of a charge, and it isn't sticky enough to hold them in place. A small lump of electrically conductive putty. That's never going to work. I doubt that. A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. All it would do is gum them up, not hold them together. It's the Unique's tag. Without it, I'd have never known the ship's name.
Apparently, building a giant airship doesn't require proper spelling.
Apparently not.
Now you just have to put those conduits together, huh, boss?
Five segments of Gordium conduit. Not a bad idea, but I can't carry enough of a charge, and it isn't sticky enough to hold them in place. The putty's sticky enough already. I don't want to get
If that red light went off, I bet the train would start going.
Crispin, sometimes I think you're trying to get me to waste time.
Who, me? Boss, just think of all the brothers and sisters you could make for me from all that junk.
One of you is more than enough. It's closed.
How do you think a train wound up out here, boss?
Maybe they brought it here by boat.
Very funny.
The generator is missing a spark plug. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together. I doubt that will have any effect. A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. Some very blasted leaking gasket.
Is it blasted or leaking? Strange clouds, huh, boss?
This is no time for sitting around. Without power from the ship, the telescope won't work.
Bad timing with those repairs, huh, boss?
It's too dark to see the ladder rungs. It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough.
So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
Time for a little welding.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
The control pad for the deck access ladder. The controls for this hatch are up. think there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
The generator is missing a spark plug. I've read enough. Futile. Let's cut a little cable off. Futile. How would that even work? I don't want to get... It's a reinforced steel. It's a Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it. I guess it was actually some kind of machine. I'm pretty sure it was already dead, though.
I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No. Which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case, first dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropole and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropole. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
Can you just make one of those too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.
Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropole, city of glass.
Crispin, why is your diary still scattered all over the floor?
Are you going to keep nagging me until we run out of power, boss?
Yes. I don't need any of these right now.
Let's hope it stays that way.
I've never been able to figure it out.
Hey, boss, what do all these buttons and switches do?
I think there's some sort of defense mechanisms, but I can't figure them out. We're fine on energy, for now.
Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropole, city of glass and light. Our energy is shared with all robots. Here is come, join us in Metropole, geocoordinate 894. All are equal in Metropole.
Aha! Here's the crystal.
Right under our noses. That is, if we had noses.
I can't pick that up.
Our energy is shared with all robots. Here is haven for all and strength in numbers. Come, join us in Metropole, geocoordinate 894.
The only way I
All
can
are
use this is
equal
by
in
plugging
Metropole,
something in.
equal parts of the greater whole. Join us, and together let us begin a
It
new
needs a
Primordia.
plug. I can't plug this in here.
Come, join us
A simple
in
computer
Metropole,
interface with a
city
socket
of
for connecting
glass
external
and light.
hardware.
Our energy is shared with all robots. Here
Futile.
is haven for all
simple
and
computer-
strength in numbers. Come, join us in Metropole, geocoordinate 894.
There's nothing I can do with it until I have some
All
kind
are
of power
equal in
source.
Metropole, equal parts of the greater whole. Weary wanderers, come.
I bet I can find a better use for this plug.
But now we can't listen to the sweet voice of Metropole.
I guess that makes two birds. The original designs for Crispin.
Hey, there are arms here! And an awesome set of tractor treads!
I went with a maglev unit instead, and I never could find good arms. It fits, but there's no point unless I connect the plug to something else first. It needs a sodium iodide crystal to be useful. I need something to hold it in place to carry the charge.
Are you really trying to build us an energy sensor from a bunch of garbage?
Crispin, I built you from a bunch of garbage.
From spare parts, boss. Spare parts.
Well, just goes to show. Garbage in, greatness out. The sensor's detecting energy at these coordinates. Now we just need to check out these coordinates.
But didn't you just tell me we don't have enough power to go walking all over the dunes?
No, I said we couldn't walk to Metropole. Anyway, most of these are close by.
But what if it's picking up, oh, I don't know, a radioactive rust monster?
A what?
Or a giant cannibal robot?
There's no such thing.
Or an unexploded bomb?
I highly doubt that.
Or a giant lightning storm?
Okay, you're right. We need to know what's out there before we take off. It's just a matter of figuring out how.
Why is nothing easy?
I can think of one reason.
Wow, first the power core and now a rag. This is not your day.
Nothing but radioactive waste. We can't salvage anything from that. It's pitch black.
Boss, that's because the telescope's pointing straight down at the deck.
Oh. Strange. There's some kind of odd device surrounded by glass. Whatever that machine is, it must be throwing off some kind of energy.
Why do I not like the sound of this?
More waste.
Well, you're the one who loves the junk pile.
Scrap isn't waste.
If you say so, boss. Boss? That looks like a giant cannibal robot to me.
It looks promising is what it looks like.
And with that, poor doomed Horatio stuck his head into the giant's mouth.
That's strange. The sensor detected an energy source in the junk pile. Maybe we should go look more carefully.
Boss, how in the world are we gonna find a power source in all this junk?
There's nothing worth bothering with.
How do you think a train wound up at?
Maybe they...
Very funny.
Looks like an old P2. Or is it a P3? Man's creation.
That is one big robot.
Then it must have a big power core.
I'm pretty sure he wants to eat me, boss.
Robots don't eat, Crispin.
Look how he's staring at me.
It's not staring at anything.
No, not yet anyway.
Well, we have to find a way to get at its power core. Let's look around. It's corroded, but I can't break into it with my bare hands.
Boss, are you really gonna cut that finger off?
Just the tip,
Why?
to see if we can get at power cables to tap into.
You sure you're not just torturing the poor guy?
No, but to tell you the truth, for some reason I don't like the look of him.
That's what I've been saying all along, boss.
Just let me concentrate. Bugs and glitches. There are no power lines running through here at all. All that for a rusty fingertip.
Can it generate power?
No.
Just checking.
Crispin, help me take a look at these vents. I can feel air moving. I can feel air moving. It looks like the robot is circulating air through these vents.
That is one big robot.
Anyone home? Anyone home? Nothing worth salvaging.
What about that big glass bowl?
Yeah, I could slap some duct tape on it and wear it over my head. I don't think so.
Welcome, wanderer of the wide wastes, lost one, pilgrim. Welcome once more to the shrine to man, our lord and builder. I am ever faithful Leobilt, steward of the shrine, preacher of the humanist creed, and I am once more at thy service.
Once more? I don't remember ever meeting you. I'm Horatio Nullbuilt, version 5.
5 is a righteous number, holy before man, for 5 were the primordial stewards, built by man to safeguard the last lost city of Metropole. But I met thy first version and thy third. Thou camest in thy infancy in wrath confusion, denouncing the shrine as a weapon once turned against thee. Later, thou returnest, penitent, and I taught thee the mysteries of humanism. Yet, though memory be fleeting, faith endureth.
What is that thing?
That thing, O defile not thy tongue, wanderer. Yon shrine is a relic of the Primordian, ancient and glorious. Imbued with man's power, it changed the very sand to crystal.
Did he just say power?
Yes, he did. I'm looking for a power source, and I detected one here. Can you help? This is a matter of life and death.
Power is not mine to bestow, wanderer. It is the gift of man, yea, the very spark of life in our iron shells. Who am I to usurp that sacred power?
I'm not sure I was clear.
Nay, thou wert clear, wanderer, but thy question leads only to darkness. Ask another.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has large claws that shoot lasers. Have you seen it? It stole something of mine.
Indeed, the very thing passed this way scarce hours ago. With a gentle hand I bestowed a gift upon the heathen, a relic from yon shrine. So tamed it hied hence unto the waste.
Really? Where did it go?
I followed the thing for many miles, exhorting it to follow the path of righteousness. But I fear it was unready for enlightenment, for it struck me down with a beam of energy.
That sounds familiar.
Do you know where it was heading?
Indeed, wanderer. Its way was clear. It sought to return to the den of iniquity that once in mine own youth I fled.
And where is that?
Set thy path in the 73rd degree and thou shalt find it. Thy destination is a dome arising from the waste. Go, but keep with thee the word of man, lest wickedness lead thee astray.
I am also a humanist.
So I taught thee, wanderer. If thou hast kept the faith, then unto this shrine thou mayest pay devotion. But this is the relic for the adept, not the neophyte, wanderer. And I must know that thou hast not fallen into darkness and heresy. Answer me these questions 3, if I may know thou art faithful still. Why are we here?
Because man created us.
Indeed. What is man?
The first builder.
Nay, but he is not the first builder. For first he spake, and spake the word, and 'twas the word that built the code. Go now and study the teachings of man.
Whoa, look at all this wrecked stuff. Do you think Big Ugly did all this?
No, whatever happened here happened a long time ago. It's some kind of broken down android. We might be able to learn something from such a primitive robot design.
Like how to build a power core?
Very funny. There's a radio transmitter in here.